Hello, guys. Welcome to this brand new podcast called the JP Connection. My name is Peter, and I'm with Josh.
Yo, what's up?
All right, so this is the first episode of the brand new podcast we're doing. Um, no, let's do like basic introductions, know who we are, and all that fun jazz. So I'll go first. So my name
hmm
is Peter. I'm 19 years old. I was born and raised here in Colorado. I go to school, majoring in history. I have a job at a kids attraction park. So, and yeah, and I like to game. No, I like to hang out with my homies, especially with the boys. And and no, I'm just like no, just chilling. No, just vibing with my life and all. So, Josh, you can take it away.
Hello, I am Josh, also 19 years old, from born and raised Colorado native. Let's see what else. Go to school as well, studying to be a psychologist. Let's see what else is there. Huge gamer, huge anime fan, love anime. What else is there? Really into fighting games and just kind of all sorts of games, and whatnot. Kind of a really boring person, as you would see here.
Yeah,
But yeah, thanks for having me, Peter. Thank you for
yeah,
allowing me to be here.
yeah. So, this is the JP podcast, and this is only the first episode. So, for this first episode, we just give our stories, know how we met, and like know how's life going and all. Um, so Josh, would you mind like talk about how we met and all?
Yeah. So Peter and I, we met about 5 to 6 years ago at a festival where so Peter and I, we've been in the Sunday school program together for like forever, but we never kind of like hung out, we never interacted before until my cousin, she introduced us to each other for some reason. And I think from that point on, like during that festival, we just decided to sing karaoke together. We sang Problems by Ariana Grande and
And
Iggy.
it,
And from then on, I guess we just became really good friends. And to this day, he's still like one of my closest friends and my best friend at that point.
yeah, yeah,
And yeah.
yeah, we bonded a lot together from like church and all that stuff. Now we're like, this is 2021. This is a brand new year. Yeah, we can like we're still like growing and all, but we're still like close together and still be there for each other.
Mhm. And we made like a bunch of new friends from like our church as well, whom we're all like still pretty close with, who we all play games with. And I guess if we sound familiar, we are from our friend the Royal Creed's YouTube channel.
Yeah.
He Beta Pangu and Kiwi Hiwi. That's us. So that's
Yeah.
our shtick.
Yeah.
So please go ahead and check out the Royal Creed if you want
Y-
to see more of our gameplay stuff and with our just how we mesh with other people.
Yeah. Yeah. So since it's like the first episode, no, we're just like talk about some random things.
hmm
So the topic I want to bring up for this episode is 2021. It's a brand new year. It's very strange after 2020. It's kind of a weird transition.
It is.
So yeah, so kind of like my 20 I want to see like 2021 to be good. Like I want to see like that opportunity to grow back up with like all the businesses reopening. As of like tomorrow, like the governor decides to make all like the dinings available for everyone.
Is that really? Is that what's happening?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So starting like tomorrow, like the governor decides to reopen like the dine-in options for restaurants, which is kind of like
Actually, yeah, that makes sense.
yeah,
Yeah.
but in like smaller amount of numbers, but it's still a good thing for restaurants to like reopen and like have
hmm
that fun experience again with like friends and family.
Yeah. 2020 was an awful year for just social stuff in general. Like, I know that a bunch of like my friends personally, they had like a bunch of plans for 2020. A lot of traveling, a lot of like just wanting to be with their other friends and whatnot. And yeah, 2020 really screwed us over. So here's to hoping that 2021's is gonna be good.
Yeah, yeah. So, do you want to talk about 2020 like in detail for?
Fuck.
Yeah.
Oh God, what can I say? So I'm very fortunate where my life didn't really revolve around going out as much. Like I'm very much of stay home. I'm a homebody for sure.
Mhm.
But then the hardest part was, with school, obviously. Zoom University was an issue. That whole bit. Let's see what else. But I could say that I there were a few positive changes that came from 2020. Obviously, one is just hanging out with Peter more often over Discord. We've been playing games pretty much almost every day at this point,
Yeah.
so that's been fun. Also, like new with uh, more jobs, like more I guess just yeah, just more jobs
Yeah,
require more
more
people to like
more more like opportunities.
So yeah, so I got a new job from that, and I'm still working at FAP to this day. So it's been bad for sure, but like I can see some relatively okay things happening from it.
Yeah, I
And yourself,
agree.
Peter?
Yeah, so 2020 was not the best or the worst, but I've been through a lot of like the mental thoughts and like what I can do as a better person and how I'm trying to like be there for everyone. So that happened in the span of a year. So like thanks to like like mainly thanks to my job because like all my coworkers and my managers wanted me to be like in a team lead position, which is like kind of very exciting and a little bit scary at the same time because it's more of my responsibilities and I'll actually like take care of what's going on around the park and that's fun stuff. With social wise, it wasn't the best. It wasn't the best for me.
Hmm.
Yeah, it wasn't the best for me. Especially I don't get to see my friends in person because I believe like the last person before quarantine like it happened. It was actually with Josh.
Was it really?
Yeah, the last person before like quarantine started.
Oh God, yeah, it's
Yeah,
crazy. Yeah,
yeah,
no, we would. Yeah, I love our escapades during lunch.
yeah,
Love like lunch, hanging out and whatnot.
yeah.
And then I think also me and Peter, we share a very we share a very similar blessing where we're able to stay home. Like we're not like parents who have like toddlers who need to be educated.
Hmm.
Like we're basically adults who are
Yeah,
able to like figure out their own stuff.
yeah.
So we're able to at least like stay home and like actually like still be okay.
Hmm.
Meanwhile, those like kids and like toddlers who are not used to doing that, I guess, who are used to being more active.
Hmm.
So I can't see like what kind of nightmare it is to be a parent right now to like
Yeah,
youngins.
yeah. Yeah, like even like newborn babies coming in like for our
Oh
quarantine
yeah.
because I could be good like good or bad depending on the child and like the parent itself, but like it should be like okay like for like both like the parents and the child at least like take care of them like love them even though it's like the hardest times.
Okay, this is a random topic, but dude, there's so many of my uh people who I went to school with who have kids now.
Oh
Like
really?
people are parents now. I know like 5, 6 people who just gave birth like this year.
Oh damn. That's That's like it's somewhat a blessing at the same time we still live in this pandemic world. You know what I mean?
I just can't get over the fact that they're like what 18, 19, like they're young and
Yeah,
they like granted like being a young parent's cool and everything, but like kids are so much.
yeah. And plus like they have a full responsibility to like create a new generation of kids. But
Mhm. I Do you see yourself becoming a parent, Peter?
do I see this become a parent? Um I've thought about it like just like recently if I because like recently I thought about like if I like really want to like commit myself in a relationship like after what I've been through for this year and for all my entire life I could see myself being like a good parent Like, no, just like try to make sure like my kids are happy and enjoying life. And like at the same time, I wanted to like focus on like schoolwork and like just like getting things done on time, so they have the opportunity to do that. Yeah, so
Yeah.
yeah,
I see with me, like I was like when I was a young, I was like, oh yeah, I want to have kids. Like I thought like kids were cool when I thought I'd be a pretty cool like dad. Like, I'm a cool guy, I think. And then like as I got older, it's very much of like, yeah, but kids are just kind of a downer. There's so much responsibility, and I'm like,
yeah,
I can barely take care of myself though, and I can't take care of another human.
yeah,
That's why if any of y'all have a kid, I'll be a cool uncle.
yeah,
I'll be the raddest uncle.
yeah,
And then like, what else is there? But yeah, just I think the whole idea of like having a kid is just so like scary, especially like the kind of climate we live in.
yeah,
Like, there's so much like more like just bad shit just going on.
yeah,
Global warming,
yeah,
the
or like,
government just government just sucks in general.
or it's just like
Um,
racism, but
Racism
like,
especially.
yeah. Yeah, it's like kind of like especially with like newer generations today, like we still need to like teach them how to like they teach them how to understand of those like topics so they could like at least have like an idea for it, but once they grow older, they will like expand that idea to like more personal or
Mhm.
something creative in their mind. So
Yeah. And I think Pierre and I, we another thing that we both share is just like we are both like what first generation Asian Americans, right?
yeah,
Like our parents came from uh, Vietnam and they gave birth to us. So there's already this whole generational like gap where they don't understand racism as much as we do, or they have a very different perspective on it. And we're kind of like and if we have kids, we're gonna have to kind of like bridge that because eventually, when they grow up, they're gonna have their own like issues that we don't understand.
hmm,
So yeah, it's a cycle of trying to understand each other, which is just hard in general.
yeah.
Ow! I just kicked my foot.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's
but
one of
yeah,
the yeah like kids now these days like I can see them be like a better generation than us, but the problem is like we're having a hard time just think about the growth and like how like different it is from ours. You know what I mean? It's hard to like figure out their growth. Like you should like say that say that there's like a top like a 5-year-old and here's me, for example. I don't understand why like this kid might do like say be on his iPad or play video games at a really young age. You know what I mean?
yeah. I think that's just more akin to that's how we parent. Like so much easier to like if like you're a parent and your kid is kind of like needs to do something, you can't always play with your kid. So you're just gonna give them an iPad and say, here, play with this. So then it's easy. So then they become, used to playing with an iPad or playing video games. So that's just kind of like on parenting essentially.
Yeah, it's more like a psychological like growth to be honest, but yeah, well, it is what it is like overall.
Yeah, but we'll see what happens if and or when that time happens. We Whoever has the first kid, they'll be the first experiment. We get to experiment on how they grow.
Yeah.
I remember we had when we back in Sunday school, like with our friend group, we would always talk about like just the future. Like I think one of the best jokes or questions we always asked was who would be the first one to get married and have a kid?
Mm.
That was always the question we asked.
Yeah, so like who do you think is gonna get married and get kids in the year
Right now,
2020? Yeah, in the year 2021. Like,
do you want to use actual names or
or no, no, you could go by initials.
Okay, so who's the most likely to get married and have a
Yeah,
kid?
yeah,
Out of everyone,
yeah.
MD probably.
MT.
MD.
Oh, MD.
D. Duh.
D. D's and dog.
Yeah. Right? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, probably.
We only know one MD.
MD, right?
Yeah,
MD.
they're in the server
Okay. Yeah, yeah. MD, yeah.
because they have a very healthy relationship with someone and they're very responsible, very smart. So I would imagine that they would be the first one to get married.
Mm. Yeah,
How much?
what was like in advance of time and space. Like say that you got married somehow. Doesn't mean
Huh?
does in in like no, like in terms of events in time, if something happens like an unexpected, like you get married with like someone. Just say let's for example, but like doesn't count as like the first one to get married out of our friend group.
Wait, what do you mean? If they're wait, what do you mean? What?
Like hey, say that I have a girlfriend, I propose to
Yes,
her.
yes.
Does it consider like the first of like everyone to
No,
get
because
no?
that's just a proposal. Marriage is the actual like ceremony.
Uh,
You're the first to propose, but you're not the first one to get married.
mm,
Because when you propose, they're your fiance. They're not your partner yet.
okay, okay, that makes more sense now.
Yeah, you can't just propose and call it. Dude, that's the most like crappy part. Like you just propose to a random girl just to win the bet.
Yeah,
Can't do that. But yeah, I definitely consider MD to probably be
the first one,
the
like
the first one, yeah. If you think about all of our group, they're probably the smartest of all of us,
yeah,
like emotionally and intellectually.
hmm
So I would imagine that they would make the right call.
yeah.
How about you? Who do you think is the first one?
First one, yeah, I kind of agree. I'm like 100% gonna agree with you. MDs, yeah, I see their relationship like strong, their relationship strong. So
Uh, let's
like
see.
like
Well,
when's the last time we heard like there's an argument between MD and their like significant other?
I don't know their significant other, so we only met them once, right? I
Yeah.
only met them once, so but yeah, our friend basically just to like bring audience into this, just using initials to keep everyone's thing private, but also when we're talking about our friend, this person is very just probably the best person out of our group, like just all around great person. Like no one in our group has any like issues with that person, right?
hmm
Like there's drama, that person is never like in the center of anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, yeah. Or what else is there? Um, I think another strong argument could probably be like I feel like I don't know, like I don't think anyone in our group is good at being married
Yeah.
because I don't know, like all of our I don't know, we're all just so weird.
Yeah. We're all weird in our own way.
I
So
could see AT getting married too.
yeah.
Probably just our rebellion, like very she
Yeah.
they're very rebellious and whatnot.
hmm
What else is there? I don't see myself getting married. I don't know if that's a possibility. Just because I don't really see a future for that myself. I think I'm more of a good like um talking person. Like a lot like you talk to me about advice, I can give you advice, but I don't that doesn't apply to my actual life. The coach doesn't play.
Yeah, you consider yourself as a strong, independent woman.
Exactly. Dude, I have high standards, leave me alone. Any woman needs a woman needs to match up to my standards, and then we'll see what happens. See, but I remember back when like what 3 4 years ago when we would pose this question,
hmm
everyone's answer was me. Everyone
Yeah,
thought I would be the first to get married.
yeah, yeah. I think it's like because you're like you're like actually good at socializing people and that and all
Beg
that
your
shit.
pardon.
Yeah, yeah. Because like you're probably good at socializing people, but like in reality, you're not that good as like managing your fucking emotions in a relationship.
So no, what he means by socializing is that at that time I was the only person who was in a relationship. I think like what 3 4 years ago, no one in our friend group was in a relationship. Like, and
Yeah.
then and then when we go back to now, everyone's in a relationship and been dating, and I've been chilling. I've been hanging out. Relationships are hard, dude.
Yeah, they're really hard, man. Like, especially with like, try to get like emotional attachment to them, and like if like one of my friends is like dating someone else, like I had to think about like, okay, are they going to like fucking make it, or are they going to like drop the zone?
I feel so shitty because I just assume that everyone's gonna break up at some point.
Oh man.
I don't.
Well,
It's because like everyone like it's because everyone's still young, no matter how old. Like everyone in our friend group is still relatively young,
mhm.
and when like, I don't think they're aware of like what they say has like actual meaning. So like when they say like, oh yeah, like we're gonna be together forever, I'm very much like,
Yeah. It's
you
like,
sure?
are you sure, Chief?
Like not to be like I love all my friends and I'm pretty they're all good like in healthy relationships. But of course, there's a small part of me that's very much like the father, the very like father figure, which is like don't say that if you don't like for sure know.
Yeah,
So
it's
yeah,
like yeah, like recently like I thought about like relationships and like if I really want to like commit for one, which I did in fact, um have like a chat with someone that I know about it and it's kind of like it's like matter of like understanding for me. Like for me, like it's more of understanding what are you going to do about it and how are you going to put yourself together in their shoes. You know what I mean?
mm,
Yeah, so like having like the emotions and all that stuff is gonna be hard, for like first timers, because it's gonna take a lot of like hard ass work to, at least commit to the relationship. Then there's gonna be times that you guys gonna be like be on your downside and not wanting to like actually talk about anything. So like it's not like it's not gonna be the best relationship or the worst, but it's I think like my recommendation for the audience going to be watching this is to take it to understand the situation and to really understand like what kind of relationship you want. So I don't
yeah,
know.
that's
y-
valid.
Yeah, I don't know if your take is gonna be different because like
Because I'm more negative about love.
yeah.
No, my advice is just always don't go looking for it. Just let it happen. Like if you go with the mindset of you're looking for it, then you're only gonna be met with failure because you're gonna try so hard to fit every like possible interaction with someone. Like if okay, let's hear an example is like if you're very much like okay, as a like we'll use a dude as an example. So like if you're a dude who wants to like get with the girl, and let's say you meet a girl and like you guys are really good friends, you're almost gonna be guaranteeing the fact that you might ruin that relationship with your friend because you're searching out for love. So instead of gaining a cool friend who's a girl, you're instead trying to force a possible relationship onto them.
Hmm.
So you shouldn't do that. Just don't look for love. Love will find its way eventually if you're meant
Yeah.
for love.
Yeah.
Also, just be aware that sometimes no, it's good to be single. Single life is fun. Like just have fun, live life.
Yeah. Yes. So like live your life the best you could.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
you don't need a person to make your life better.
yeah. As long as like you got yourself and you can like figure your own problems from that way.
Hmm. Yeah, and yeah, I like that. It's very much of as long as you kind of know who you are as a person, and as long as you're like you know what makes you happy, then I think you're set for a good life. Because like having good family is nice, having good friends is good, but really in the end, the only person you'll have is you. So you have to know what you like, and then so on and so forth.
Yep.
So yeah, love sucks. I agree, Peter.
Yeah.
Glad we came to a consensus. And if you're dating someone, chances are you guys aren't going to make it at the end. I agree, Peter, 100%.
100% guarantee.
Except if you're those two people specifically who we mentioned, who we should probably bleep out the initials just in case.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do that.
Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, relationships, it's a big conspiracy theory somehow in the biggest way possible.
Love
Uh
doesn't exist. I agree. Yeah,
yeah, so yeah, that's 2021. That's the entire topic. Then we
that's
just rambling on from there, but kind of the last thing I want to like talk about for today's episode because it's not gonna be a lot for this first episode. Um, we just want to talk about what could potentially happen in this podcast.
I agree. What could happen in this
Yeah,
podcast?
yeah,
Um, Chances are, like, if it's because Pierre and I, we have a very our dichotomy, our relationship is very interesting because Peter is more he's more enthusiastic about stuff. I am not. I think you can see in our clothing too. Look at our clothing. You're a
yeah.
bright yellow. I'm gray. I'm in a white room. You're like
In the
you're
freaking
full like in a lit room. But yeah, so our chances are, if it's between us two, it's gonna be a lot of deep philosophical topics because Pierre and I just are like to think about that stuff. Pierre especially loves that kind of stuff,
Yep. Yes, sir.
and hopefully we get to bring some of our other friends along, and then we can add more stuff to the sandwich, if you know what I'm saying.
Yes, sir. Yeah, guests on the show. We'll see what happens from there, from the first episode. I know for a fact there's a podcast called Irrelevant Podcast. I believe like in like within like 6 or 7 episodes, they add like their girlfriends into the podcast. So
You're
which
right,
is,
Peter. We should add our girlfriends. I agree.
yeah,
Let's
we'll
find
see.
a girlfriend in 7 episodes.
Yeah, we'll see what happens from there. Um, it's not like this is like my idea because I kind of make it's like a New Year's resolution for me to be honest. And it's like trying to like film something,
Mhm.
film something from like say from a story or just doing a podcast. So this is kind of my New Year's resolution to start a podcast.
Mhm.
So that's kind of something new for me to do. And even though 2020 sucks, but I can start something new every like probably every week.
Mhm.
Just spend time with Josh or some other guests on the show and
Yeah,
just have
same
fun with
here.
it.
Yeah, same here. I think Pierre and I we both talked about this with our other friend, with Royal Creek specifically, because we talked about just Pierre and I we do want to make like more gameplay videos, like we like just videos in general, and so yeah, hopefully this year we're able to have our own individual channels whom we could like make our own stuff, and then we can come to here, and then we can collab with one another,
Yeah,
and yeah. So basically, this is for fun, nothing serious yet until something happens. But
yeah.
until then, this is just the boys talking
The only the
at
boys talking.
at like dead of night.
Dead Dawn Night. Yeah, Dawn Night. Yeah, so yeah, like there's like other content I want to do for this podcast channel, like just going over like do some like funny like skits or some shit, but who knows? But it's only the podcast channel, but we'll see what happens from there. This is only the first episode.
Yeah, and Pierre, do you have any specific when these will come out? Do you want to try to make these every month or so?
this is gonna be like a weekly podcast, no?
Fuck.
Yeah, yeah. So like once per week, throughout the entire week, I'm gonna try my best to like, get like the videos software up and like try to narrow it down, make sure like the podcast is good. So yeah, so every single week, we go expecting a podcast. If we haven't posted anything for that week in particular, because we'd probably be busy or just taking care of some like personal stuff in general. So
We're gonna have a huge fight and no one will know about it. That's
yeah,
gonna be the greatest thumbnail. It's gonna be JP broken up.
yeah.
But yeah, okay. So if it's every week, it's gonna be good because
It's
um,
we
it's a
could do.
chill podcast.
Yeah, so like once per week we can like get together and like don't just talk about our week and know how life goes. And also, since this is like only the first episode, in the next episode we're gonna read you guys your questions. This makes it more interesting. Just leave it in the comments below. Send us your
That's good.
questions. Send us your questions or some personal teas you wanted to um expose, then we can just chat about it.
Hmm.
Yeah, so
And let's see. Yeah, I think it's a pretty good start. I mean, me and Peter are very. We have a lot of stories to tell, a lot of exciting stories, interesting tidbits. So overall, it's gonna be. I think this is a good start to something that could be pretty cool. So
yeah.
hopefully, y'all keep tuning in every week or so, and then we can keep making more stuff.
Yeah, so um, please leave a like. No, comment your questions. No, we need
Hit that subscribe button.
that's yeah, yeah. So leave a like if you guys enjoyed this first episode of the podcast. Please send us your questions in the comment section. That'll be wonderful for like at the end of every episode we can like just pull a question or two from there and then we're just gonna expand that. And make sure you guys subscribe. No, even though we started this channel, we want to see our channel grow and see how our community grows. So yeah, so this has been Peter, and this has been Josh from the JP Connection, and we're signing out.
Bye bye.
Bye bye. Jesus Christ.
How long was that? Like it's all 30 minutes, 30, 45?